Alright guys, we got a giggly cast here. This is episode number 36 of Town Hall Heroes. I'm your host, Jake, and as always, I'm joined by my beautiful co-host, and today we have both Sia Steve and Chef here, but just going down the list here. Sia Steve, man, what's going on?
Not much, man. Just kind of hanging out, finally getting a chance to breathe after all, 5 different events happened in the last 2 weeks. So it's nice to finally sit down and just relax.
Relax. Well, we're not going to have much of that coming into this next week because I'm going to make you cast more tournaments with me.
I know.
That's okay. That's okay. Looks like Sham 2 is actually in a different world right now. What's going on with your life?
I'm off in Columbus, Ohio, working some MLG stuff. So I'm actually far, far away from Heroes for this week. But I'll be back Monday. And, oh my God, I swear to God, I was A-okay when I came on this. But when I was woke up this morning, the whole entire day, right now my nose is getting stuffy.
Town Hall, man.
What the heck, guys?
You guys talk about heroes, they get nerfed. You come here,
sick.
you get nerfed. It's not good.
You're just getting it out of your system, so you're good for BlizzCon, man.
Yeah, you better not. You're staying in my room. I'm going to have to boot you out if you got some
Our room.
I am the king of that domain.
Town Hall room, thank you very much.
Town Hall room. This is true. This is true. All right, Zoya, you got a pretty new channel here. I wonder who made those wonderful graphics for you.
Yeah, man. Jake helped me make some graphics. If you guys look below, there's a bunch of sexy graphics, and the stream just looks a lot better. It doesn't look like a 4-year-old runs it anymore. It looks like an actual professional does something here, which isn't the case, but it looks like it. So
I was about to say, what a farce, because a 4-year-old is still running it, but graphics.
my week's been I've been doing so much Heroes, man. I've been streaming a lot. I've been casting a lot. Did Kings of the Storm. Yes, that thing. I've been doing a lot of things behind the scenes. We're actually going to be doing a King of the Nexus this week. It's finally coming back. It's going to be live Monday. Fingers crossed, because, Kevin could be sick that day. Yeah, I mean, it's been a fun week.
Yeah, well, if Kevin's a rip, I'll fill in for him. We can do that.
Yes.
You're replaceable.
Oh, okay. Just step right all over the parade.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, last but not least, we have our one.
Okay, wait. Last but not least, who's the least then? Hmm?
Oh my
If you're gonna
goodness.
say, if you're gonna say
It's not
shit
me,
like
though,
that,
right?
Well,
Yeah.
well, I'm
You
gonna say
clarified that.
if there has to
Shout
be a
out to
least,
OBM.
we're gonna go off with. let's just throw Kubi on the under the bus, and if he watches the VOD, he can call me out. So Kubi's the least. So
Okay.
if he's a good boy and he watches the VOD when he gets back from Japan, that's him. But till then, we have Chef here, and Chef, you never actually left Liquid, but you're once again playing competitively for Liquid because you were on a very long hiatus from StarCraft 2. But welcome back, and I guess the first thing I want to do is I just want to, why don't you plug yourself really quick, and then we'll go into the interview. I'm anxious to interview you, so just tell everyone, just say hi. What have you been up to?
Hi guys, welcome to watching Town Hall and everything. There's nothing really that new, just playing a lot of Heroes, playing it a ton, no longer really doing StarCraft 2. Hands are doing much better, but StarCraft 2 is off limits, but Heroes isn't, so I can play Heroes all the time. It's great.
does it hurt your wrist at all?
It does a little bit, but it's so much smaller, so much less pain that it's practically nothing. I played for 8 hours before coming here now, and it's still okay.
Wow,
so
that's great.
Pretty good.
That's awesome, man.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, somebody was asking about you the other day, and I don't remember. It was in one of the tournament chats. You were playing in the match, and somebody asked, "Hey, does anyone know if Sheth still plays with the keyboard on his lap?"
Yeah, whenever my hands broke, I stopped doing it because I thought maybe that had something to do with it. I don't think it did, but I just have a very ergonomic posture whenever I'm playing, and keyboard in front of me and mouse over here, and I had a doctor actually show me how it should be done exactly, and actually via webcam help me set up everything so it's ergonomically correct.
That's really cool.
Yep.
Well, I guess the first thing comes to mind in terms of this interview is when it came to the whole BlizzCon thing. I'd imagine
Before we go there,
okay.
Can I do a real quick PSA?
Yes. Yes.
All right, cool. So, basic idea for those of you guys at home who want to have ergonomic keyboards and stuff. You put your arm right here, so it's not on your elbow, isn't on the table. It's your forearm, and let's see if I can see from this side.
Let's see if I can full screen this. Hold
Such
on.
tutorial.
Your room is so clean, Chef.
Either way, you just want the forearm, the pressure there, and then your hand like that on this, and that's how you're supposed to do it. Alright, thank you for letting me.
Do it again. Do it again. I ruined it with my production value.
Alright, cool. So, desk set up like standard. So everything's kind of in front of the desk. You want your like stomach to be on the desk, basically, and then you want your arm. So like your whole arm isn't on the desk because this is like bad for your elbow and stuff. I guess I don't know. And you want it like on your forearm. So the pressure for like where your hand's doing everything is on this like muscle / bone there because it's really hard. And same for mouse. I just don't want to put the camera on.
So you're telling me that when I rest my wrist on the edge of the desk here,
Yeah.
I'm actually
that's a
just
good idea.
destroying myself right
Yeah,
now.
That's why you get these wonderful little calluses.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Thanks, Chef. You might have just saved my my life here. Cool. Well, let's just jump on into the discussion here with our. We're gonna have you on for the whole show if you're cool with that.
You bet, man.
Awesome. Awesome. But so again, former SC2 Pro player on Team Liquid, and obviously now we know that there are 4 teams that are invited to play at BlizzCon: Cloud9, EG, Liquid, and Fnatic. And I'd imagine that Liquid received the invite and just hit you up immediately. But how did it all go down?
All right. Well, I mean, you pretty much called the nail on the head or whatever. I had an idea of what was going to happen beforehand. Like, I actually knew Victor was going to get the invite before he got the invite, and then like, so I'm talking to Victor and like seeing what's up. And
Anyone that doesn't know, Victor Goosens is the owner of Team Liquid.
yeah. And then eventually, like a day later or something, like I obviously keep in touch with him every day, pretty much. Like we talk about random things, like my work or like StarCraft. I'm really still active in like the Team Liquid chat and everything. So then we just talked about it a little bit, and I was with Snowflake at the time, so like it wasn't really sure at all that I was gonna go with him, even if he got a spot, right? Like I didn't even think I would, but I just wanted to like talk to him about it and like help him out as much as I could because you know it's a lot of help, like to have someone who knows the game pretty well. I mean, like just the scene as well, knows who's good and who they should pick up and everything. And from there, we talked to Victor. I don't know if he would have went into the scene if like I didn't end up going into to TL. And the whole switch from from Snowflake to TL was kind of weird. I really hated leaving Jake and Greg because I've known them forever.
Yeah, for sure.
Felix and Faye too, but I've known them forever, so that was the roughest part. And then building the team for TL, like once I'd finally decided, like, all right, Victor, I'm with you. We got this. We're gonna take #1. Like building that team was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I had people who would be like, all right, I'm with you, Sheth. We got this. And then like 2 days later, they're like, just kidding, Sheth. Not happening. So building a team, if you have like just yourself, can be really hard with the scene right now. Just because there's a lack of people and teams are so solidly built that like if you want to steal someone, like it's not going to happen. You pretty
Right,
much
yeah,
just have to
for sure.
just do your best at finding like the best players. And I think I've solo queued like 12 hours a day every day looking for people, and I would interview people all the time, and eventually we found 5 people who I think are great, and that's how it worked out.
So Sheth seems to like, act like he really likes Town Hall a lot. I'm just going to throw this question out there. Zoya, Jake, I don't think Omega Black Mage. Did you guys get this invite to Team Liquid? He was looking for the best players. He didn't ask the best players. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, I know you're part of Team Town Hall Heroes, and like I said, I didn't want to break up the top teams. You were listening, Shem, too. Are you thinking they're not?
Yeah,
This
right.
guy.
You wanted to give
He's on his
C9,
toes, man.
Fnatic, and all the other ones a chance. I gotcha.
Right. That totally makes sense.
So, I don't know how much you can go into contractually, but is it just for BlizzCon? Do you have like a several month deal that's going on past BlizzCon? What? I don't know how much you can actually go in, but is it just like a one-time thing?
Without giving specifics, it's past BlizzCon, like a ways past BlizzCon, and hopefully it's even past there. We just have to make sure.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Cool.
I mean, obviously, Liquid doesn't want to invest too much in something that there's no like judge of what it's going to be. It's still so early. Like we have no idea what the community is going to look like. For all we know, in 6 months, the community is going to be massive. For all we know, it's going to be just like Hearthstone, where all of a sudden there's people running events everywhere. The numbers are ridiculous. I mean, it's entirely possible because Heroes is unique enough. But yes, that's cool. That's good to hear that it's not a one-off thing. That's really exciting because we know for a fact that's how Fnatic's working. We still don't know EG's roster and Cloud9. Also, I don't know if they said for sure if it's a one-off thing. I don't know.
No, they haven't said anything about it.
Yeah, so we don't know much about Cloud9.
So how's the team looking, Chef? Like like you said, it wasn't like a team that had been playing together before. You formed this team for this, for Team Liquid. How are you guys synergizing together? How's practice like? Are you guys just flowing well as a team? What's your like overall thought on just how the squad's doing right now?
Well, I think we've been together for around 2 weeks now, only something like that. And in those 2 weeks, everyone's been like really good at working together. Dunk's like shot calling, I think, has improved a lot. Everyone's play has improved a lot. And then like as for results, we took second in the King of the Storm Weekly this week. Only losing to Symbiote, but we like got wrecked by them. So huge shout out to Symbiote for being really good. But we had to beat pretty much everyone.
Don't take that one to heart. I mean, it's
yeah, everybody just gets rolled by Symbiote.
kind of par for the course, unfortunately, right now.
Those were some really good games, though. I just want to say, like, you guys played incredibly well. Even from last week to this week, like, I could see some noticeable improvements in your guys' decision making. It was really cool to see in the course of just 1 week, and it's just SMG. They just know how to find like one flaw in your play. What they see one opening and they're just like, okay, we're gonna punish you so hard, and they do that to everyone. It's like early game everybody looks even with them, but their late game decision making is terrifying. But I mean, considering how much longer they've been playing together compared to you guys, I think you guys looked really, really good against them. So great job.
I'd have to say there's actually even a large improvement between Saturday and Monday. I saw a pretty good, leap in performance there between the two of those. But
yeah, those games, game 1 and 2 were really close. Like it was just those one. Game 3, it kind of looked like you guys were on tilt. But game 1 and 2, those were really, really fantastic games.
Game 3 were definitely tilted a bit. They changed their draft enough that it caught us a little bit. We had a Nova instead of the Tychus that we'd planned for the build, and we didn't actually have a player to play the Rhaegar we wanted, I think, to add to the comp. It was like, frick, we messed up, like, right after they took it.
how are you finding drafting going, considering talent gating and the recent wipe and everything? I mean, do you guys have all the heroes that you need, or do you still run into issues where it's like, all right, we need you to play this, and you're like, I'm talent gated?
Right now, it's not really an issue anymore. The main issue is more like we don't have people who are comfortable with all of the weird stuff we want to play. Like, if you want to run a 2 support combination with like an Abathur, like Dunk's the only one who could run both the support and the Abathur outside of me. So like, we can't have all 3 of those. We can only have 2. It's like So it's not like a hero talent gated issue. We all cleared everything up, I think, like the first week with the double XP.
That's good.
Double XP helped a lot. It helped a real lot.
I miss it so much.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean,
It's not the same. It's not the same at all.
We miss it. We should bring it back. Like, have a petition.
Well, they were doing double experience weekends for a while, and they might just be waiting it out until we have a little bit more time under our belt. How do you feel about the maps right now? Like a couple of tournaments have started using map striking. Is that good for you guys? I mean, you guys are kind of unique there too, where you just say like, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Go ahead. We just won't ban anything. Just pick whatever map.
Yeah, SMG, pick whatever you want.
That's actually a really good question because of the fact that you guys have done that on multiple times. We just don't want to play in Garden, is what you said the first time we casted you.
And yesterday they were just like yellow.
Yeah, just whatever. We practiced a lot of Garden. We like all the maps, and like we're prepping for BlizzCon, right? And we don't really even know how the map system's going to work there. So we just don't want to have like a weakness that's like shown, right? If we ban a map right now or something and there's no map bans at BlizzCon, it's like, all right, we're picking that against, TL.
That's actually a really, really good point.
Yeah, so while we may have weaknesses on certain maps, we want to shore them up, and we want to actually find our weaknesses and improve them, right? It's a simple answer. And I think all the maps are fairly well balanced, so.
So let's say like it's coming down to like, say you're in the final, like say Liquid makes it to the finals, and we're at the final game of the day or the whole tournament.
All right, I'm like having a heart attack. This is
so okay. We haven't seen a Murky the entire tournament. Will Liquid take the bullet and play Murky, Chef?
take the bullet. Like, we'll take that bullet that's murky and shoot it at them, man. Like,
Boom!
oh yeah.
Oh man, the murky hype is real.
That was
When's the
actually
last time we saw
Trixler. Trixler had a question about Illidan. Hold on one second. Let me pull it up.
On Reddit?
Yeah.
Well, while you're pulling that up, guys, we actually have a Reddit thread on reddit.com/r/heroes of the storm. If you have questions for us, just leave them there, and we'll definitely look through them at the end of the show. But he's
Community
gonna
manager Trixler asks, I've noticed Sheth has been playing Illidan lately. Will we be seeing Team Liquid victory at BlizzCon with the legendary Betrayer?
We do think there are comps that run Illidan pretty well. I mean, I can say that for Tim. Like, Illidan's definitely been seeing pick in the EU scene, and it's seeing picks elsewhere as well. So don't count Illidan out for sure.
Yeah, Illidan's.
Yeah, I think he
I
is.
like him a lot right now.
Yeah, I really do too. I love playing Rhaegar with Illidans. It's like so fun. It's so good. It's very strong together.
Yeah,
But
Now that people are taking.
I
that
can't be
guys
part
are
of this
insane.
podcast anymore. I have to
Yeah,
leave.
you guys
I'm
are
sorry.
insane. I don't know what the hell's wrong.
no, it's fun. I didn't say it's. I didn't say
Once
it's
people
incredible.
stopped going the silly assassin Illidan and started going like tanky Illidan, he's pretty damn good. He's pretty damn good.
It's hard to. It's good in solo queue, but in competitive play where people actually can focus stuff, Illidan just kind of pops.
I can tell you we've lost to Illidan comps quite a bit in scrims.
What?
Should
Have you
probably get
seen
better.
Soldiers Illidan? Have you seen Soldiers Illidan? It is disgusting.
Yeah,
God.
Illidan can
Yeah.
be very good.
I mean, I hope to see it. We haven't seen it. Illidan actually hasn't made a debut in any Kings of the Storm event yet, so that's a
Or
thing.
King of the Nexus as well. Illidan is.
Yeah, like he just hasn't made a debut at all.
we did
so,
see him in Champion of New Maelstrom.
Yeah,
though.
we saw him
did see him
twice.
play
He
there.
won one game, lost one game.
Yep.
I think
Really?
you need like 2 warrior bands to see him really though.
Yeah,
Like
it's
if
true.
you have
It's
like
exactly.
Arthas to real band, then
Pretty
maybe
sure
you
that
see
was the case.
Yeah, I mean the game we saw him that he won, they were up by like 2 levels almost the entire game, so he could basically do whatever he wanted. And in the game that they lost, they were on Haunted Mines, and like he just couldn't get enough work done down bottom in the mines, and he ended up getting focus fire too easy. So I don't know. I probably wouldn't run him on mines, but maybe any of the other maps, that's possible. Although he must be pretty good at clearing skulls, so I guess it depends upon how you put pressure on the enemy team to use
If
him.
you're
Really
going
good at
full 2
snowballing.
arc in the mines, Illidan's great.
Yeah, that's true.
Just gotta go 2 arc.
You just got to go 2 arc for that first mines or 2.
Well, I think that's a great segue. We can actually just talk about just kind of like the esports recap this weekend. And first and foremost, 2arc had an incredible performance this weekend, going
Absolutely.
from honestly not having any real good showings and just kicking butt this weekend. Seriously, they played really well.
Yeah, they pretty much 180'd their current standing. I think in almost every league, I don't think they'd actually won a match yet. If I
They
remember.
won 1 match.
No, they
in
won
ECS.
1 match in ECS.
One
One,
match.
one in
Which is something
ECS, and then
that
they
Zoe
were
pulled
what
up on the
0-5 in HPL.
Yeah.
I think after the most recent batch of games. So they
Cool.
came in and they were just like, nope, time to 2-0 all the top teams, and
Yeah,
they
that
did
was,
it. I mean, granted the games weren't like blowouts, but they
Hey,
won.
Yeah,
That's all that
2-0 is a
matters.
2-0.
Yeah.
Snowflake and Glorious back to back. Like
Yeah.
that's impressive, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, it
They
was
definitely got a new shot caller because like the shots that they were making, like it wasn't like a second or 2 of thinking, and that's what we saw in the Snowflake game. Like Snowflake was taking like 1 or 2 seconds to think about things before they did them. 2arc was just like, while they're thinking about this, we're just gonna yell out random commands and do it. It seemed like, but it was working. Like just like those little seconds add up, and just those seconds were costing Snowflake just a little bit of an advantage here and there.
Yeah.
And like that mine strategy's actually become a thing that all teams are like, okay, we're gonna go in the mines and we're gonna 2 arc, and you just spread out through the mines. Like it's actually catching on. It's they did so well this weekend. Like Kevin and I think we cast most of their games on Saturday. Like that those were so impressive. Like I was shocked. It was like going in like, okay, so after this we're gonna be seeing Snowflake versus Glorious, and then it's like an upset. Like whoa. What happened? And then they just destroy. Well, I mean, it wasn't destruction, but it was almost versus Snowflake. Like,
I mean, I saw them get a 100-skull golem versus SMG. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah,
like,
too.
I was like, what is happening right now? That was like the first game. I was just like,
Yeah.
I mean,
is this
they,
the same
they
team?
did do that. They did do that, but not to bash the team because I'm a former 2arc player myself, so I love them. But they didn't
no,
follow it
we call people
appropriately.
out here, bro.
Yeah, they didn't follow it up appropriately. They got the 100 skull golem, and then they didn't push with it at all. So
Yeah.
SMG was able to fully DPS it without any kind of
This
worries.
is
Yeah.
true. This is true.
And
Yeah.
so it literally did less than a 30 skull golem would have done if it was unguarded. Like, it took out
Understood.
one wall and one tower, and that was it. And it was like, that's a 100 skull golem at like 16 minutes in the game, and it did nothing? Like, what?
The problem
If I
with
remember
going full
correctly-
2 arc is that you die in the mines at that point. Doing that strat, you're dead for a long time.
Yeah,
Right.
and I think they were membered down, and they had like jungle camps pushing, so like they just had to defend. It was just like a lot of things. Like SMG just kind of like saw the strategy. They're like, all right, let him get a 100 skull golem. We'll get everything else.
Yeah, SMG is like the best team, like by far, at just like adapting mid game. They do it all the time.
They adapt incredibly well. They really do.
But yeah, it was really cool to see like a team like that come out. Team Mayo, which is like the first games that Zoya and I casted, which was just a completely new team, and this was Gillyweed, and a
Gillyweed's
couple
team, and then
Gillyweed
versus it was
from
Shrek on
StarCraft,
Ice.
and, yeah, and a couple of
No,
other.
versus
Oh
Snowflake.
yeah, Shrek on Ice. Shrek on Ice was the best team name in the whole entire tournament.
Yeah.
I've never seen them before, but they're definitely now my favorite just from
I
that name.
played them on a ladder a lot. Dino's team, I played them on ladder a lot.
They took a game off
The
Snowflake.
team
Yeah, they did. That was the weirdest game. Let's talk about that game. They had, what was it, like 3 warriors, a specialist and a support, something crazy like that.
We must have been casting during this game, so I'm excited to hear this.
Yeah, we were. But so the game that you guys are talking about is SOI
Game 1.
Snowflake, right?
Yeah, game 1, it was
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Dragonshire. They had,
Kerrigan, Abathur, Stitches, Uther, something.
yeah, Kerrigan had Stitches and Arthas, maybe?
No, it
because they
wasn't
banned
Arthas.
Arthas because they were
Yeah.
sniping it from Dino.
Ethereal?
I don't remember.
I feel like I remember Ethereal.
It was like a team that should not have, like, it just made no sense. And it had like 3 resurgences plus an Abathur, so it was like they could, like, Snowflake couldn't end. And the Stitches was actually like did like the slam build. It was like second on damage at the end of the game. Like, it was.
Wow.
It was all
It's
kinds
on
of
Kevin's
weird.
YouTube, so make sure you guys go check
I'll have
it
to
It
out.
go
was
check
like
that
really
out.
back and forth. Like teams were just like throwing things into the air, and like nobody was actually gaining ground for a bit.
Yeah.
And it kind of went back and forth. What was really funny was after their first win, Dino, after picks and bans, was like, "All right, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the drafting. Let the game commence." And it was like really cheeky because they just won.
Yeah.
And then right after Snowflake won the second game, Idra in all caps goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes drafting. Let the game commence."
Oh my
It was so
god.
funny. I died on
Such
but
manner.
Like,
It's-
game 1 was really cool, but game 2 and 3 were such a stomp. Like, Snowflake destroyed them.
Oh.
Like, game 3, they drafted, like, was it like ETC and Muradin in the same team or something like absurd
Yeah, it
like
was-
that?
It was ETC Muradin were their 4th and 5th picks, and like
Yeah.
Troy was just like, "This is gonna be terrible," and I was like, "Me, no."
Yeah. It's, we saw a similar thing over in like we can actually just kind of transition to the Asia meta versus what we see here in North America, because we cast our first ever Asia North America tournament this weekend, and it's actually not complete. We have to cast the semi and grand finals. That's going to be Thursday. Just a little plug. But so we actually saw a draft where their last 2 picks were Murky and Azebo, and we're just like, Vala was not taken or banned. Like, no, Vala was like, Falstad was picked up, Tychus was banned out, and they opted to go with Murky as their last pick instead of.
Sounds like they know what's up, man.
It did not work for them. They would have had a decent chance with it, but it was just like, what on earth are these picks? And this was round 2, I think, too.
Do you have much experience with the Asian meta, Sheth?
Not really, to be honest.
Yeah,
No.
I haven't watched the games yet, so I'm like, I have no idea what their meta is like yet.
I mean,
I watched it.
it's similar. They're not that different. You
Well,
watched
they picked Marky, bro, so they are
one Murky pick.
They are kind of different.
That was the one Murky pick. On average, I think I talked to Dread. Dread has a pretty good understanding of what they think, and he said they consider Nubarak to be the strongest tank. I believe he said they look. I mean, it's Uther. They think is the top healer. I think they said Vala again. It's pretty similar.
Yeah,
it's really not that
so
different.
The team.
They don't value
the team
Arthas,
itself.
though, from what I saw.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He did
Yeah.
say that.
The team itself that they were going against, the Korean team, is what he was talking about. He wasn't talking about like the meta as a whole.
Yeah.
Over there, but like they specifically don't, or they they prioritized Anub, Vala, and Uther, I think, because if you looked at the picks from round one, that's what they did, and they basically just ignored certain things in NA that just never get ignored. Like Tassadar was like 4th round pick, Arthas was 4th round pick. There's another one, Falstead. I don't even know if Falstead got picked up in game one for them.
That was
Like,
that was weird.
There's a lot of
Right.
really weird things. And, like, if you contrast that against the tournament we just saw, Kings of the Storm this weekend, it's like the exact opposite. Like Arthas and Tychus, 100% pick ban rate the entire tournament.
Prioritizing
funny-
Vala in this current meta is also kind of weird.
Yeah, no,
It's
it's
funny.
super strange.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, she's strong, and
Not strong
people
as
have
all the other
started
assassins.
right, but like she's strong in a weird way. Like, if your team is hyper coordinated, then Reign of Vengeance can be worth picking up very early if you don't want to deal with that on the other side. Or if you're trying to do like a hard like melee engage strat, then you don't want to deal with a Reign of Vengeance getting launched on your melees as they engage. So having like one range as Vala and then like the rest of your team be effectively melee, that's not that bad. But then you have to deal with a noob, and I mean that could be why they picked up a noob as well, so they don't have to deal with the Burrow Strike and Impale. But there's so many little things about the way that the guys over there in Asia play that it was cool to see, but when it matched up against NA, it didn't really work out. So I don't know. It'll be the biggest thing for me is to see how they change going forward. Like, I want to see if they actually adopt what NA does, or they just keep plugging away at what they're doing now and see if they can get a little bit more coordinated with their picks and all that good stuff. Because none of this stuff was really wrong that they picked. It just doesn't match up with what we do in NA right now. So that was the thing.
I mean, we can actually just quickly take a look at this is one of the drafts that we saw between Team No Limit and SMG. Now, Team No Limit, again, this is the Korean team of former StarCraft 2 pro players, and yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that was weird.
this was a weird comp, but it didn't look that bad. It really didn't.
Symbiotes is weird too. What the hell are they doing with Arthas and Chen?
Well, I mean, that's not
Double
that.
Kind
Warrior's
of makes
pretty-
sense.
That's
Double
pretty
Warrior is
standard.
pretty common right now. Yeah, that's not that.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
know True Warriors is common, but Arthas
Well,
and Chen.
I
to me
think the
doesn't
reason
seem
they
like
did
that's
that was
good.
because they got to see who were the ones before that? They had Tyrael, Vala, and I know you just had it up and I can't. Uther. So basically, they already banned out a noob, and then they just took the two other powerhouse tanks that were up
Yeah.
really. So they didn't want to deal with that, and then like it was kind of weird that No Limit picked Zagara and Gazlo into that because
Yeah,
womboing
that's-
tanks is like it can happen, but it doesn't really happen. So that was strange, especially when you're dealing with Chen, who can actually just storm earth and fire out of everything. So that was just weird to me. But the game was sort of close at the beginning, and then just pretty much ran away for SMG.
Yeah, and if we just want to poke at the other draft really quick, same bands, and a little like a pretty standard comp here. It's just
know.
weird that they have Sonya, Tyrael, and Chen. I don't know if I've ever seen.
I don't know. What's weirder to me is the double Tychus ban. Tychus isn't. I don't know. We haven't
They
really
obviously-
been seeing him.
Yeah, they
I mean,
actually
we-
don't want to deal with them.
We had a lot of Tychus bans this weekend.
Yeah, we did.
Like, he was
Oh, no.
second most banned, I think, and
What do
he
you?
was.
What does Team Liquid think about Tychus lately, Sheth?
Tychus is a good counter to dive comps or wombo comps. Like the idea of if they're first picking Tyrael, which looked like they were doing, Tyraeling into a Tychus is really bad because you pop Odin and then the Tyrael's like, I gotta go, see you. And then
See you.
whatever. So that's probably my thoughts for why they're doing it.
I mean, that makes
I don't-
sense.
He is still really strong. It's probably one of the top maybe 7 heroes for sure.
And also when you consider that they went with Chen, Sonya, and Tyrael, 3 heroes are going to be on top of you. Removing Tychus from that mix makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I pulled up the stats. Tychus, this event got banned 7 times, picked 22 times for the event on Saturday. 100% there, so pretty strong. We saw a pretty decent amount of him in the Asia tournament.
Yeah,
We didn't see him every game. We saw a lot more. We saw a lot more like non-active DPSers, like summoners and like Zagaras. We saw a pretty sizable amount of Vala, but not like no channeled abilities. We saw a lot more Malfurions, I think, than we see in North America. That was another thing that I was kind of taking note of, and we're starting to see Malf kind of slowly edge his way back into North America.
I don't think we saw a single Twilight. I think it was all Tranquility. Every single game that we saw Malf.
Yeah, I think any Korean or Asian team was Trank, and any NA team that had him had Twilight.
Yes, that actually I think that's right.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. I mean, we saw Trank get used really well. I mean, we saw some fights that were just completely dominant because of Trank. So it was a cool event.
I still have to watch the games. Probably watching them.
Yeah, I haven't watched the games at all. I want to watch them now.
Round 1 and 2 are up. That's on my YouTube, just YouTube Solid Jake GG. And round.
Do you remember any like really good ones, Jake? That like off the top of your head just jump out? Like the first QQQ one was pretty good. I remember. I think that we started on that one. That was pretty good.
It's hard to remember when you cast for like 8 hours. It's hard.
Yeah, we casted literally every game of that tournament.
Who is that, Kev?
So that was rough.
It's hard to remember. So we'll see. I'll actually try to think and just list like which ones you guys should like prioritize and watch. I will say that the series with Descent, and it ended up being a best of 5 because they had latency issues and they decided to continue on to best of 5. Was a really good series. It's a 2-hour series, so prepare to.
It's like a movie.
I'm not watching that. This isn't League of Legends. I don't have time for that.
It's
And now your
pretty
feature presentation.
an hour and 50 minutes long is the video.
Sean, was there anything from this last weekend that really stood out to you? From any tournament you saw? From either tournament?
Oh yeah, dude. Like we should definitely talk about 2 arcs, 2 healer thing at some point. Like that was the build that
let's
they
go.
were
Let's
taking
go.
everywhere. All right. Well, they took Rhaegar Uther every game it was available. That was the comp they beat, if I recall correctly. Snowflake, at least. Glorious, I think they went like
I didn't see the
maybe
Glorious
something
game.
different one time. But it's a similar idea of just you take like 2 dive, 2 healer, and like Tychus. So they would prioritize the Tychus because they couldn't save him. Or like it's just if you have such dive, like your healers are focusing on the dive healers or the dive to heal. And then Tychus just like you don't have to heal at all because it's Tychus. And it was working really well. Symbiote actually, I think, banned out one of them, or like picked Uther to avoid it, and they went Malfurion Brightwing, or Uther Brightwing, or something like that, to do 2 healer thing again.
Interesting.
That's cool. Speaking of Brightwing, I just want to give Sheth a lot of praise because I was watching his Brightwing play, and I saw some sick Emerald wins that just rocked people, and I just want to go back to some earlier town halls where you guys would tell me Brightwing will never be seen in competitive play. Oh, it was beautiful. Oh,
No. We never said Brightwing would be in competitive play, you clown.
You said Emerald Win. Emerald Win.
Okay,
But he was
get your
just
facts straight.
like,
Clown.
we were on Garden of Terror, or they were on Garden of Terror, and I just see there's like 2 or 3 on the enemy team in the siege giant camp, the top left siege giant camp on the map, and Chef just walks right in, and that's like a perfect circle. He walks right in the middle. He's like, "Go, be free into the wall." Not free at all. He just shoves everyone into the wall, and they just get wrecked. It was just like, you're trying to get away. Nope. This is actually designed perfectly for Emerald Wind, and it's just gonna rock you. And it was really cool to see Emerald Wind be used like well to just wreck.
There was a lot of good Emerald Wind play this weekend.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
It's nice because Emerald Wind is life. And
Yeah, it's cool that we're even seeing Emerald Wind picks even in like single support comps.
it's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
We're not. It used to be like if it was single support, you would take Blink Kill no matter what. And now it's almost always Emerald Wind.
Blink Hill's still very good, but like just the amount of utility out of Emerald Wind is really strong. So, Chef, I mean, just what's your thought process as to when Emerald Wind is the better option versus Blink Hill?
Emerald Wind is always used for disengage, pretty much. So if they have like a Bloodlust comp or a Dive comp, you just use it to disengage. Blink Heal is just about never used. Like it's almost just better to get like an Malfurion or something with more impact, I think. Just like for the silence, Rhaegar for Bloodlust, like just Blink Heal, the way they nerfed it and everything, it doesn't feel as powerful or impactful, and
it's almost like better for the Brightwing to just stay alive than it is for anything else.
You have to like blink forward with it sometimes to heal tanks, and then you just die because you blinked forward like an idiot. Like, I don't know.
I feel like builds have to adapt around it. You have to get like sprint with it, or you have to get like Ice Block or something. It's just really
Well,
weird.
There's so many good supports in games right now that if you actually just want one dedicated dealer, then there's probably going to be one up that's better than Brightwing right now. If you're going to go Brightwing,
Yeah,
you
like
can just
Lily.
get them. Stop
Yeah,
it.
totally legit.
Wee wee.
We did see in the Asian tournament, we saw one play that was like actually, it was pretty much amazing, but it didn't win the team the game. What happened was a VP went down from them, so like red team, blue team, fight happens in the middle. VP goes down, hits 3 people on blue team from red's VP, and then Brightwing runs up to be like on the edge of the VP, starts her Emerald Win, the VP drops, and it just splits the team in half, pushes one person away, that one person that got pushed away just dies immediately, and now it's a 4-on-5, and like they just, their execution afterwards didn't work, but it was like so unbelievably beautiful that they did that. And I was like hyped to see it, and I was hoping that it was going to turn out well, but it just didn't. So it has the potential to be there, but it's so niche that I don't see it happening too much. But like you said, probably disengaged most of the time.
Yes, absolutely. But like you said, the utility is there. You never know. It's entirely possible. So it's a cool spell. I'm just glad we're seeing it a lot because it's a cool ability, and it makes me look.
Shut up. Go away.
keep flaming on like one of the only things that you've said right about the game.
I've said
Jake.
a lot
Bam,
of right
shots
things,
fired.
dude. I'm like the Farseer in this game, man.
Shut up.
What did I say about Panda Pals?
Bad.
Didn't I say Panda Pals was going to be more prevalent than Keg?
Said Panda Pals was going to be better. Okay,
That's
I had your
also
back
off
on that.
I'm still not sold on that.
That's
really
also
not.
like right after it got nerfed as
Are you
well.
kidding, Kev? Everyone takes Panda Pals on Shen.
Why would
No
you not
one
get
takes
Panda?
Yeah,
Panda
because
I know,
Keg
that's
got
the thing.
ruined. Like,
I
it's
just
not
I
worth it.
EU seems
I don't like
takes,
either.
Shen
Definitely.
with the Rolly thing.
Huh?
Wonder
the barrel of
was
justice.
really good,
Barrel.
and now it's just
We're gonna call it Barrel of Justice from now on.
Barrel
No
of
longer-
Justice?
Warrior.
Yeah.
It's just Keg.
Matt, you got really quiet.
Yeah, Matt, you got
I'm
quiet.
here.
You ripped.
I'm here.
You ripped your mic.
I didn't do anything.
You messed it up.
Your cat's licking everything right now.
What's that, Matt? I can hear.
Anyway. Cool. Well, I mean, yeah, honestly, the Asia meta doesn't seem all that different from North America, but it was cool to see some different stuff come out of them. I don't remember any other, like, really weird picks. Now, the only game where we saw a Hammer, that was Clairvoyant.
We saw a ETC.
Oh, that's right. We did see an ETC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw a Murd in ETC. You think you're so special?
Ugh.
You think you're so
Little bit.
cool?
About half
Who
a
do you
cup.
think you are, huh?
Jake
Not only
and
that,
Steve.
but the same team, if I remember correctly, was also pulling out like an Abathur Uther, and then they had like all the other better people to clone, but they kept cloning Uther, and like just did nothing the whole entire game. That was
Yeah, but they had 3 Resurgence, so it didn't matter.
it's hilarious. But also,
We
it's
got
like,
Yeah, if you're
we
gonna
just
watch
got
a
double
game,
Divine Storm. That's all. Scary.
watch game 1 of Shrek on Ice versus Snowflake. That was just the most
Shrek on
bizarre.
Ice is such a good name.
It was the most bizarre game I've ever seen. It was.
it was like you know those giant noodles that you had in pools that you
Abathur?
like would slap your friends with. Like it was just like.
Yeah, and
5
eventually
kids,
you just
like, it
get
was, like,
beaten
5
down
on
and you go
5
home.
with that, and nobody actually like nothing happened.
Yeah, but eventually
One
you just
kid
get
got, like,
sunburned
his
and go
eye,
home.
but that's about it.
Yeah, like that game was just, and like halfway through the game, we knew it was over for Snowflake. Like Kevin and I were like, Snowflake, what? There's nothing they can do. They're winning every team fight, but then you have 3 people instantly alive from Resurgence plus an Abathur. Like it and it dragged on for another 15 minutes. Man, that game.
Same thing happened with when I had to jump in with Naki to cast a game. They were like, huge team fight broke out in Garden, like just fantastically executed. They had 3 people left. They could have pushed on core and Resurgence. It was like, all right, well, I guess we're extending this game by 5 minutes.
Yep,
Well,
that's a good segue. There,
Yeah,
Jake.
conveniently, that's our next topic. Is we're actually going to talk about just those talents like Resurgence, like Relentless and Venom, these universal talents, and let's just open the gates here with Resurgence, as a lot of people have said it breaks the game. It makes the game like completely imbalanced. It's really strong. It's like a must get. A lot of pros have expressed just like extreme hate towards the ability, saying it's completely too strong. So, Sheth, yawning away over there. How do you feel about Resurgence?
Well, I did not speak for the rest of the team on this.
No,
So
yeah, this is
Nisha
for you.
there, like, Well, I think they don't like it very much, but I kind of like Resurgence, to be honest. It adds another layer to the ban thing. Like, you ban heroes primarily for that, and you pick heroes for that too. It's just a part of their kit, right?
Yeah.
And it benefits the team that makes it to 20 quite a bit. Like, it's generally just, like, the best talent you can get. Even better than, like, increasing your ultimate, your heroic ability. So, like, it could be maybe a longer timer. I'd be okay with it, but I never felt like, oh, I hate this game because they're still alive after this point. It's more like, oh, I get to play more and like have another awesome team fight, which I think is probably different. If we're talking like pure balance, I mean, it hasn't made certain heroes like Lily stronger, but like
True.
Lily
Well,
and Siege Tank both have Resurgence, and neither of them are seeing much play, so it's not
I think-
always that.
I think when a single talent has so much impact on a drafting phase like that, like when you start like people draft now, they're like, let's see how many, like, oh, they have 2 resurgences, we can't let them get a third, and things like that. Like when that's something you're looking at when you're picking and banning, that's something you take into account as like a cash. Like, oh, these teams have 2 resurgences and the other team doesn't, so if they make it to 20, that's going to be a huge advantage late game. I think when a single talent has that much impact on the flow of a game, it might be a little too strong. I don't think they should completely remove it because, I agree with Sheth. Like, it is a cool,
It's a cool
like,
dynamic.
in theory design. Like, I like the fact that certain heroes can do it, but I think it is a bit too strong right now because it's so overwhelmingly powerful in some comps.
So if they made it a 50% respawn reduction, is that too much of a nerf? Like,
So
say
you
it
mean-
takes your respawn timer and just cuts it in half,
Yeah.
rather than 5
I
seconds.
think it's too much of a nerf.
Too much of a nerf?
I mean,
think
unless
so,
it's
too.
like you always get that instead of like having the cooldown or something. But even then, though, I don't know because like it's the weird thing that catches me off guard about it is who has it, right? Like you were mentioning before, Lily and Sergeant Hammer, but the other people who have it are like
Gazlo
the ones
has
that
it.
are
Yeah.
really good at stopping pushes and really good at like the people that have to be in the front
It's mostly
line,
warriors.
right?
Yeah.
It's mostly
Yeah, it's mostly warriors. So it's like the people who just don't die and the people who have to be in the front line. So it's like, all right, well, I'm just going to toss myself into this battle, go, hard as hell, and basically like try and do as much damage as possible, die, and it doesn't matter if I die because I can just pop back up and do something else. It kind of gets rid of the need for having to do like solid rotation. I mean, yeah, you don't want to die in the middle of a team fight, but I don't know. I think it's just too much of a way to kind of toss away responsibility in a team fight because, like, if you die and as long as your team wins that fight, guess what? Now it's like a 5-man backup instead of having to deal with like a 4-man. I don't know. To me, it just I don't like how it adds that mechanic. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like Uther. Okay, I'm Uther. Now I'm dead, so I'm Uther Ghost. Oh look, Resurgence. Rinse and repeat. I'm never gonna be dead. It's pretty much.
You never.
Yeah, I don't
never
think you
do
take
that,
resurgence
though.
on your third. Yeah, you gotta get
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
No.
gotta get
He's
Hurricane
gotta
of
get it.
Justice.
It's
yeah,
an option.
Hurricane of Justice.
It's an option. It could be
Well,
used.
it's-
Not
No,
on,
it
not on
won't-
Uther.
it won't happen
On
that way.
Uther, you need Hurricane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it won't happen that way. But
But
I don't
Barb,
think that
Buffett-
Resurgence is a strong enough. I don't think it's a strong enough talent to necessarily make or break drafts, especially because like there's already other talents in the game that people get picked purely because of it. Like Zeratul, Void Prison is literally strong enough to just break an entire competition.
That's a heroic though. That's not a
it's a-
generic
there's no
talent
difference.
that's across a lot.
There's
Yeah,
no
there is. There's a
difference
huge
at all.
difference. There's a huge difference between Void Prism
How?
and Resurgence. Resurgence is all across several heroes. Void Prism is specific to Zeratul only.
That's true.
But you're still the original prompt was that you consider draft changing because of certain talents on a hero.
But that's a talent that is
That's
Right.
across
widespread.
several heroes.
Yeah, so
Right,
we're talking
but
one
that's,
ban
like,
on
That's what you're
Zeratul.
saying. Like, it's Resurgence.
Like you don't
doesn't
go,
break...
oh, there's a Void Prism. Let's make sure they don't get a second one. But you do that with Resurgence at times, where you don't want them to get too many.
If
of
they do
those.
Abathur, you can. But either way, like there's not enough value in Resurgence to say like, oh my god, I'm gonna build a 3 Resurgence team and now we're gonna purposely die and then go win the game. Like that.
Well, that's not
that
what I was
doesn't
saying, but
make
it's something
sense.
that teams like when a single talent. It's something that teams take into account when they're looking at the game. Like, oh, okay, they have 2 resurgences and we have none. That's something that teams are looking at, and that's something that when you get into the game, if you notice that the other team has multiple resurgences and you have 0, you get stressful when you want to end before 20 because it's a completely different change of pace. It doesn't matter if you're like crushing every team fight. If suddenly or you're coming up like say you're coming up like with 3 people left, and then suddenly late game it's, well, we were, winning these fights overall, and now they have two Resurgence, and now we're not able to push because of that. We've lost all our momentum.
It's true.
That's a huge advantage from one
I
tap.
mean, basically, yeah. Look at that type of an engagement where you have a 5-on-5. You completely wipe the enemy team. You only lose 2 people, but now they have 2 people and maybe a third with Resurgence. Now you just won a team fight completely dominatingly, and you're still even on the map. And that's, I think, where it becomes the biggest problem, is that it elongates games because teams that are winning team fights don't have a way to actually end or even start taking map objectives safely, because Resurgence pops you back up with full health.
So
on them out 5 seconds later.
I have a question for everyone, and we have abilities like all these abilities that are across multiple heroes. What if, and how do you feel rather, about having stuff like, say, every single hero has Resurgence, Bolt of the Storm, Storm Shield. Every single hero has the option. Does that make the game more balanced, or just throw everything into chaos?
I don't like the idea of generic talents in general. I want the talent pool to be so in depth that everyone's unique little snowflakes.
Now, the game might get to that point, and in your opinion, that's the ideal game, where there is not a single shield ally, not a single Envenom like ability in the game.
I mean, like those are cool spells and all, but like
Jake, think about it. What would happen if Abathur had Resurgence of the Storm? What would your careless hands have wrought?
I think when it comes down to it, having those blanket abilities, or rather talents, does actually end up providing a decent amount of it has a little bit of uniqueness, because it also depends upon how the player plays the hero. So like, say you have like a person that mains assassins, and their big thing is that they're really good at positioning in team fights, and now they have the option at 20 to take Bolt of the Storm on everything, and now they're sitting there like, okay, I'm one of the best positioners in the game, and I can just pick up any hero, and regardless of what's going on, I can now make an impact in the game with this hero because I can take bolts on anyone. So I don't necessarily mind that there's general talents. I just mind how they're implemented. I think Resurgence probably does need a little bit of a tweak, but I don't mind in Venom. That's fine by me. I don't mind gathering power. Yeah, like I don't mind gathering power in Venom. Relentless, same deal. There's just things that you sacrifice something to pick them up, and they're not necessarily always just like, oh my god, there's no reason not to take this. Like, you're making a very clear and present choice to pick that talent up. So, and it's not like it's hidden either. It's not like the enemy team can't just hit tab and see what you have. So I just think a lot of teams aren't used to reacting to that yet, and they're not really using all their information sources to their max right now. So a lot of people are just like, oh, this is so dumb. Like, they're so strong, and we didn't realize they had Relentless, and we lost that team fight, and because they have Relentless, like, we lose the game now. It's like, that's not a valid reason for me to say that something's either too strong or anything like that. It's just my 2 cents.
I mean, if I had to look at like all the talents, I don't think I have a single problem with any one of them except for Resurgence, and I think it's just because Resurgence just elongates the game so much. Other than that, I mean, the other ones are perfectly fine. Relentless, I find, is absolutely hilarious in solo queue when an Uther heals me, or Uther stuns me, and I'm Diablo, and I'm like, haha, I'm back up to moving, buddy. But other than that, I don't really see a problem with any of the other ones.
The only other one that's like taken across the board is Healing Ward, and I think when a generic talent is taken across the board, it might be a little too strong.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no.
But everything else is pretty fine.
It's a matter of how people play the game too. Like, not even 2 weeks ago, we weren't really seeing any healing words. Maybe 3 weeks.
They buffed it though.
Yeah, well, exactly. But like,
we
weren't
they buffed
seeing
it, and then we realized it was good.
Well, SMG told the world it's good.
Yeah, but like we weren't seeing it at all, and then like suddenly people were like, okay, like this is actually good, because team fights also started to evolve too. Like, people weren't just throwing their faces into team fights and just hoping that they came out winning. Like, they were more coordinated. They now had frontliners. We're seeing more of a push towards 2 warrior compositions. So now you have frontliners that can actually soak damage and actually make healing wards be viable. They're not just like gonna get thrown down and immediately get popped anyways because they have one HP, and I mean, there's the only thing that I would do for Healing Ward would be to change its hitbox because it's extremely hard to hit it in a team fight, just in
That's
general.
what makes it good, man.
It does and it doesn't. It's kind of just like, okay, well, this is now just an AoE heal that you can't really like counterplay, and that I don't like. I don't like things that don't have counterplay to them.
It has
But I'm
counterplay.
just-
It's a little
counterplay,
difficult to counterplay.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
It's
like,
like,
there's
that's where
there's
like
certain
being a good
classes you,
player
like,
is,
literally
knowing where to
can't
throw a healing ward. Like Arklon yelled at me the other night.
It's
'cause I was
true.
dumb and threw my healing ward in a bad spot because I'm not the best player. But a good player knows where to put it in. Like that adds like
No, that's fine. That's fine.
any level of skill. Like a
Yeah,
certain
I'm okay with that. It's just like there's certain times where like you're not able to actually do anything about it, and it's like, okay, this sucks. Like
You got
I have the
acquisition,
ability
bro.
to do it, but I can't actually get there to do it. If it's like the enemy team forcing you away from being able to do it, that's fine because they're actively doing something to stop you from doing what you're trying to do. But like if someone just like throws it down and because it's just like this massive cluster that you can't find the ward even though it's right there in front of you, that's when I'm just like, this is kind of crappy. But it's just like it's something that'll get cleaned up in time, so I'm not really.
But wouldn't you
worried
think
about
that that would be something that was like skill based, like
Yeah.
having to position your hero in front of the healing ward so nobody can click it, and at the same time you sacrifice your ability to reposition, but
no,
you also
that's
give your
fine.
team the ability to do something like that?
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's not a thing.
Well, it seems
and
very
that's-
counter
that's-
to your point if you agree with
Yeah,
it.
no, that's something that I mean, even in League we saw that with like Cho'Gath. That's why a lot of people pick Cho'Gath because he was so
Cho'Gath?
big he could just no Cho'Gath. He could
Yeah.
just sit on top
From
of
League.
carry. From League.
God,
Um,
Jake.
You could just pick him. His size grows so
Gross.
large, and he could just sit on top of an AD carry. And like you can't right click the AD carry, and you can't use ability or left click him either because you're gonna hit the Cho'Gath hitbox. And so that was like a thing that came out. It didn't last too long, but it was really cool to see the community involved with that. And now here, like what I'm saying is that just hitboxes in general are just kind of wonky right now. And so like I'll see a ward, it's open, like I can visibly see it on my screen, and I should be able to right click it, but just because of the way that the game works right now, I won't be able to actually get in and click that thing, and so it'll just stay alive, and they'll get like 15% of their health, and I'll be like, oh, I could have killed that, but just because of its alpha, I can't get it yet. So that's my only qualm with that. And it's not really a big deal. I just wanted to get cleaned up.
All right,
Our,
let's
our
just get,
professional player and
Oh.
guest chef has yet to say much on this topic.
Yeah, chef, come on, yell at us.
Yeah, chef, we're all
dude.
bad.
Which topic? The
Oh,
Resurgence.
everything.
Just in
every
This is
general.
the thing, buddy. You need to jump out and yell at us.
Don't be
at every
afraid to
topic.
talk over us, man. We're all dumb anyway, so just
Dude, I've just been enjoying the conversation.
well,
I'm
I
like
mean,
so
saving
sweet.
it up.
yeah. So as a whole, how do you feel about generic talents existing?
I already talked a little bit about Resurgence. I mean, if you want another cross or talent that's taken pretty much across like everything, you can look at Blink. Because most AD carriers will take that as their level 20 talent rather than improve their.
Bolt.
Yeah, Bolt. Sorry, my bad. I was referring to the StarCraft version of it, but
You mean Flash? Is that what you guys are talking about?
Oh gosh.
Is he God?
so that's like another almost game-breaking thing where it can disjoint ults. Like if you're really good with Blink, like its your ult's not going to hit you anymore. And like if you're Nova, you can now reposition insanely good once you get Blink. Like it just changes the hero completely. And then Zeratul turns into like this ever omnipotent moving thing, which is just really cool. Like more skill-based things like that make it like I love that sort of thing.
yeah. I love Bolt on Zeratul.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
It's so fun.
Resurgence is definitely less of a skill rather than just like you now don't need to have skill. So I would love it more to be moved to things that have skill, but I also like that. I mean, the game timers do turn insanely long, really, really quickly. So at times, Resurgence can like keep a game alive, and a lot of teams just don't have the killer instinct that like the top teams would have to. Like there are a lot of times when like, oh no, someone's up, they had Resurgence, like let's go back, and then like the top team's like, all right, who cares? It's one person alive, they're a tank, like they're like we just killed them and we win. So we'll see. I guess either way, I'm happy with anything.
So overall, it sounds like most people are okay with the generic talents existing. Jared said
Except
best case
Resurgence.
scenario is, but yes, Resurgence. A lot of people. I mean, I agree. Resurgence seems a little strong, but I'm just gonna.
It's not even how strong it is. That's like, see, that's the thing. Is like it's strong, and that kind of sucks, and how it changes the gameplay. But for me, I mean, the biggest thing, at least when I'm looking at this as a spectator, as being a caster, it just makes the game longer. And the whole entire thing about Heroes of the Storm is supposed to be like a 15-minute game. But you look at something like SOI versus Snowflake, and literally that game went on for like 33 minutes or something like that, mainly because of Resurgence alone. And it's
I think
like
Faye
they
said
added...
last night that would this like be like I want everyone's answer. Like I think Faye said last night that what if you just limit Resurgence to 1 per team? Like there was just like a generic thing. That,
Never gonna happen.
How do you do that? How do you do that intuitively?
Never
right?
gonna
like
happen.
You have to look
Exactly.
at your team and be like, how are you gonna make it so it's like, oh well, this guy chose it. Well, how is that gonna deal with toxicity?
Right.
It's like you took my Resurgence.
Exactly.
You know who I am. I'm murky.
Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah, but dude, Resurgence on Murky, yes.
That's
That would
why
be
like.
nice.
To me, it just seems like it's honestly like a talent that should just be removed. And I understand, and Chet's point is really good. Is that later on the timers become a little bit too large, and I think honestly overall, Blizzard was just copy pasting from like other games or like League of Legends where you die at the 30-minute mark and you're going to be down, or like the 40-minute mark you're down for like 60, 90 seconds, or I don't remember exactly the time. And I think in Heroes of the Storm you just can't do that. It's way too long for the game for you to be dead
I don't
for this
think,
fast-paced of a game.
I don't think
I
they
think you look at
copy-pasted.
it-
I think they want the game to end. I think they're like, this is the point where we want games to end, and so we're going to make the death timers
Well,
long.
you can still do and push objectives and get objectives done if you get rid of Resurgence and make it like 40 seconds on the max cooldown for death. That's just me. Anyway, I think Resurgence just needs to be looked at just in terms of spectator values. The fact that it puts stalemate into the game, and stalemate's not something you want. It's kind of like the StarCraft 2 problem, where like they're like, we want our games to be 15 minutes long, but we're going to put a whole bunch of stuff so that you can't really do as much as you used to be able to until the 10-minute mark. As, that was my problem with like the Mothership Core and Queen's range being extended, etc. But I don't know. Those are just little nitpicky things where it's
I
like,
just remember that 2 hours
you say
to
one
fun
thing,
on ZVZ.
you say one thing, thing,
Yeah.
Blizzard, but then you do something that kind of counteracts that.
I think
I
Shep,
wonder what
you
the
and I-
average game time is, though. For
Yeah,
like
I'm
games.
curious of that too. Like I wish Hot
Sure.
Slug had a stats of that or something.
Yeah, that'd be
talking
cool.
about,
Like per
like,
map.
in
even.
the- in general on
stats
ladder?
I see is I'm in diamond.
But you don't have 100 games, so it doesn't matter.
Wait. But 23 games is Diablo. Solo queue for the most part. 67% win rate.
More things that don't matter. Hooray!
Yay!
Hey, above a 60% win rate with a bad hero is good work, Kevin.
I know. I'm really
job.
good at this.
Such
I'm good at
proud.
this.
Especially when you take lightning breath.
All right.
Well, yes, Diablo is very fun. So, I'm sad that we're not doing yet again deep dive. No deep dive again this week.
Rip.
But rip that segment. I know a lot of people like it, but I actually just want to go to a fluffier topic right now, and we're gonna
For fluffy topic though, Chef, do your bunny impersonation.
Oh, dude, no, that was the one time only. That was the one time only.
No, we were talking about pets. We found out that Jared never had a pet.
Not even like
so
a fish
collected-
or like a
Not
Not even
butterfly.
fish or anything. He collected Pokemon cards. I think.
And
was what he-
Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
And
Both.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
gosh, so defensive.
And then Sheth mentioned that he caught a bunny once, and he needs to do the mom's impression again because that was amazing.
It was a one-time thing. You can't like put me on the spot for it. Like, it's
Is
not how it works.
this saved on video?
It's not how it works.
No, it was when you were
That was a
muted.
one-time
Jake.
thing.
Oh no!
Gone forever.
This is
Sorry.
so.
It was amazing.
I'm
So-
so
What's
sad.
the point?
So fellow interviewers of Heroes of the Storm, this is the question you always have to ask Chef: is what does a baby rabbit's mother sound like when you steal its baby?
What does the fox
It's-
say?
No,
It's amazing.
don't
It's
even
amazing
say that,
sound.
Matthew. So there's a big list of data mined heroes
Oh,
that got put on Reddit.
Mhm.
It's massive, and it's on some Russian website, and we can actually look at it really quick. We can
The
just see
Overmind. Just go ham. The Overmind right now. The Overmind.
This
the
is
Overmind.
See
Are you
this?
Probably
kidding
just
me?
an announcer pack.
it could
Is it the Overmind? Really?
They, in the Datamine Heroes thing, the Overmind is there.
the Overmind is
Dude.
there. We'll get there.
I'm
Dahaka.
guessing.
Now-
I'm guessing it's a.
The Haka? Is that Duran?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Dahaka.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Deathwing in
Dahaka got
human form,
leaked a long
humanoid
time
form.
ago.
So that's really cool. We got this dwarf. It's all in Russian, I guess.
You
Falstad.
should click on the
You don't
link
have
I
the
posted in
translated
chat
page?
earlier. Yeah, I linked you the translated
Oh
page.
my God, Jacob! What are
Jake.
you doing?
Jay, I linked
okay.
you the
Just link it
translated.
on.
Jeez.
All right,
Jeez.
link me
Too.
the translated, and then link it in the chat here. Let me
Yeah,
get it.
I'm looking for it. I'm scrolling up. I
It's
got
like
it.
the third comment on the
All right.
I just
While
posted in chat.
we're
I
waiting
just
for that,
posted in
while we're
chat.
waiting for that.
Wait,
trivia
what chat?
question of the night.
Oh, that chat. Okay.
Twitch chat.
Go,
Cool.
go, go.
Trivia question of the night. What was the cheat code you put in StarCraft to get the secret Zerg song?
Oh, come on.
I don't remember that one. That's like the heart. Like, come on.
No,
I can do power overwhelming and show me the money, but
Operation
What about
Seawall.
Radio
like,
Free Zerg. Radio Free Zerg.
Video freezer.
that's right. That's right.
Awaken my
Dahaka,
child.
Deathwing. I can't. Morva. I don't know who that is, honestly.
Oh, she's like a
everything.
priest or something.
Okay.
I
Rag.
think she was from BRD, right?
Yeah, I think she's like no, she's a.
No,
I
no,
think
she's
an Ironforge.
Ironforge, yeah.
Like Ragnaros. That's cool. Hand of
That's been
Rag.
teased for a
Just-
while. We've known that since like before.
I know,
the
but
game.
Really?
it's still like cool to see
Cool
this again.
thing.
Gul'dan, pretty obvious. Jaden, pretty obvious. Isn't
Still Jaden
That's-
is huge though.
yeah.
If they bring him
Yeah.
into the game, like
Like,
they
do you
don't
remember
have
how
a
big
choice
he was
but
on
to make
Sunwell
him
Plateau? Like, we saw half of his body, and he was
no,
massive.
Kill Jaden is a titan. Like
He's
he like ruins everything. Or he's not a titan, but he's like an arc lord. Like he will actually just ruin everyone. So if they put him in the game as a hero, like he needs to be hyper badass.
he's? I don't know. I think he's gonna be really cool.
Dude, all you need is like thousands and thousands of wisps, and you win.
Just go fight him in the jungle, and you automatically win. Make sure you have your tier though, or you're screwed.
Yeah, another dwarf, Magna Bronzebeard. We have Grom, pretty obvious. Maeve, we've known for a while. Queen Ashara, pretty cool. Very glad to see that.
Really weird because Ashara is like.
Now, granted, this
like
is
a lore, but she doesn't do much.
hey,
So super.
she'll probably be a healer.
Hey, dude, she's got a whole entire zone named after her,
That's true.
She's got.
right?
I mean, she's the reason that the Horde invaded in the first. Or yeah, the Horde invaded in the first place. Like.
yep.
She's actually the lore of why Warcraft, or World of Warcraft, is how it is right now because of
I didn't-
her.
Wow.
That's a thing.
Adopted
She was
daughter
in on
of
the whole
Tyrande.
thing. She was a part of the whole thing. They got Illidan. The
Oh.
whole betraying part.
Whacked out. Yeah,
So
Yeah, she's like Ashara's done a lot, guys. If you don't know her,
who's
check her out.
Chandris? It sounds like she'll be kind of like a ranged.
Yeah, she's like a huntery type
Yeah,
thing.
I don't know. It's interesting. Bran Bronzebeard.
Brandon would be hilarious.
Like that's awesome. If that's
I don't see him like being. I don't understand how they would put him in the game, but he would be hilarious.
Warfield makes a lot of sense.
Warfield was
well,
actually the original
Ham-
design for Hammer.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they didn't have enough females in the game, so they swapped it up.
And made her NASCAR loving tank commander. Now that's the healer mama like.
And then we got obviously Valerian Manx, Jaina. Jaina's not a big surprise. I'm glad you guys couldn't see Jared's face because it was quite
Aw.
terrifying.
Simadana.
Blade Master in Blizzard Dota, the original video we saw the Blade Master, and
Apparently, you were clicking her boobs.
It happens. Okay,
it's just the natural thing that a guy does when he looks at things, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, chat. Kale,
There he is. There he is.
Kael'thas. Yep.
Yeah,
See, you're getting hyped. Here's my girl, Sylvanas. She's gonna be. Wait,
She was leaked. She was
Am I
teased at the
doing it right?
original packs.
am I doing it right?
Yeah,
Um,
PAX was Kael'thas, Sylvanas, and
Chen. Yeah,
No.
Chen.
Chen.
So
Yeah, it's Chen.
yeah, so it sounds like she's gonna have Dark Arrow. She's probably gonna have a silence on her normal kit. It'll be similar to like Brightwing's Polly, probably. That's what I'm hoping for at least. And I don't know. I'm really stoked to see what she's gonna be because she's gonna be sick. Rexar, I think he'll be the first hero we get that has multiple control units. Because Misha will definitely be.
Keep dreaming. Blizzard will never do
Yeah,
it. They
keep
hate the
dreaming.
world.
They talked about
They
it.
said they will.
You did
They
not
said they
watch.
did.
You did not watch my interview with Matt and Clairvoyance. They said they're gonna
Or
do
just
it.
read the article that I put out.
Man, shots
Read.
fired.
Rude.
Please.
So yes,
Rude.
at
I
PAX,
asked, so
PAX Prime,
for that,
they're gonna
yeah,
do it.
I asked Dustin directly if he was, or if they were considering putting in micromanaged units, and he said yes. Flat out, he said yes. And he added one stipulation that it was not going to be a blanket thing, but it was going to be something that existed in the game and that they would approach on a case-by-case basis. And then he specifically went on to say that obviously Hydra from Zagara is not going to be microable because that would be insanely overpowered.
No.
But
But
other
awesome.
things yeah,
But
it would be
awesome.
awesome, but it would be so broken.
I should be control the roaches too.
Oh
Right.
my god.
And
He
the
was-
banelings. That
Oh.
would just be.
Oh, dude.
That would be the
Just
sickest.
give me Zerg. Just give me Zerg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People would just be they'd just be playing Zerg.
But
But
the chef
he
would
did say
actually
that,
just like beat everyone. He's just like microing his whole army. Just beats the whole team by
Chef's
himself.
problems come back.
Yeah, right. I can't play heroes anymore, guys. I gotta go. I have to micro one unit. I can't do it anymore. He did say the last thing he said was that Kerrigan's ultra list is obviously a little dumb, and that it doesn't. It's just dumb, and so he's like, that we want to look at that, and we want to kind of, do something about that. So, I mean, in the future, we've seen Rexar tease in a couple of videos. We've seen him. I mean, he's been in from the
We
beginning.
see him get blown up by a precision strike. That's all we've seen.
No, we see it this in the very early videos. We see him walk around, and I think they even do a nameplate over him as well. So like in the pre-alpha builds, he's there.
But we've never seen Misha. But we
Right,
assume
Misha,
that her
right.
model will exist
Oh no.
as half
Yeah,
of him.
it doesn't make sense to not have it. That's literally hand in hand. I mean, there's a WoW server named Misha, so
Great. Thanks.
And
Yeah.
he's in Hearthstone.
yes.
Thanks.
So she.
Thanks. That's what he says. Just going down the list, Leoric, not a big surprise. That's,
Varian is so hyped, dude.
yes, very interesting.
Dude, the interaction between Varian and Rhaegar is gonna be so good. Like the voice chat between those two,
Oh, because both
because
gladiators.
Varian became Varian due to Rhaegar.
Right.
Yep.
So that's gonna be. Oh man, I love those little things that Blizzard does.
I know, right?
I really
They do
hope
everything
they pair
so
well
well
together
in this game.
because
The Butcher's gonna be weird because there's gonna be so much overlap with the Stitches. Like unless they
Yeah.
do like a Diablo 1 version of the Butcher, like
I mean,
I
he's
don't
got the
know.
hook.
Well,
the
I
meat
mean,
hook.
it's not like other MOBAs don't have like pseudo clones. Like League has Blitzcrank and Thresh.
Blizzard stated they are like specifically
Right.
avoiding that.
Right, I know, but I mean, you can only do so much until at least one ability overlaps. Like, you're not gonna be able to make a game that's so unique that for like the first 70 heroes, every single thing is gonna be unique.
Yeah.
So I don't mind if they overlap a little bit, but we'll see how it goes.
Do you think
He
that
could
they
be
would
like-
make
he
the
could be like
Butcher a
Moonbow,
Diablo,
though.
a Stitch of skin?
I hope not.
No, I don't think so.
I mean,
I think-
they did the Shando Illidan, which is close-ish to Malfurion, and I still don't like it to this day because I'm like, is that okay? It's not. Although they do the Tyrande skin that was at PAX was literally Maev.
Yeah.
Like, it was literally her.
I still
And
haven't seen it, and it
remember
drives me
walking
nuts.
by- I know. I'm sorry. I almost took a picture, but I decided not to. I remember walking by and be like, "Oh my god, they put Maev in the game. I have to play this now." I was like, "Oh, never mind. It's Tyrande." It was like, it was so well done that I was actually just like, "What? What is this? Oh my god!"
That's
Isn't it
awesome.
Maeve?
Probably.
Mayev.
That's one of the names.
Mayev.
Say
Mayev
what?
Shadow Song.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I think. I mean, they could just easily make the Butcher look like Dr. Mundo. So, I mean,
Mundo?
But that's not
throw
really how he
cleavers
plays
and
in
stuff.
D3.
For...
Yeah.
You
I
can
mean,
give
he
it
doesn't really
looks
play
like a
that way.
full
Who
function.
cares about D3? D3 sucked. D2 or D1,
Oh
bro.
my gosh. Well,
D3 did not suck. It
Let's-
just didn't live up to the hype of D2.
let's plow through this list. We got Gelbin here. Finally, a gnome. A lot of people have.
This Russian page says he's the king of the dwarves. No. No.
No.
Okay,
No.
okay, hold on.
Who
on
cares?
here.
Alliance. Moving on.
Dwarf and gnome could be like the same in Russian,
They're-
or it could
I'm
be
gonna punt. No.
Okay.
Okay.
Hunt a gnome?
I thought you were saying they
That's
were
what
the
happened?
same.
No,
Garrosh shall
saying-
scream.
saying they could be interchangeable.
Who
Okay.
cares
So
about
why-
dwarves and gnomes?
I care about gnomes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't keep making like faces and stuff. We don't have webcams. Up. This is
sorry, I
dumb.
put them up sometimes. Garrosh, Tosh, Phoenix. They spelled Phoenix wrong. Gosh. They have it fixed. Phoenix. How high? Phoenix is. I know Kev's very happy about Phoenix. You've been wanting
everyone,
Phoenix. Since.
Everyone is really hyped about Phoenix. I don't think there's a
No,
person.
I'm the one who matters here, Zoya. So shut up.
That was our
Tosh
first.
will be another stealth hero. What do you guys feel about that?
Well,
Well,
he's not a ghost.
Tosh. He'll be another stealth hero.
Yes,
Do-
he is.
Do you play the
He's a
campaign?
Spectre.
Yeah. So he's one. He's not a ghost.
Spectre's
he's a
got-
specter. He's a specter.
Yeah, Spectre's got stealth.
But they're stealth.
Oh, they have stealth. They're
Yeah,
different
cool.
though.
Yeah, that's
Don't
what I'm saying.
they?
Whatever.
They're the perma stealth.
I didn't say he was a ghost. I said he was another stealth hero to the game, Jake.
No, I didn't finish my thought. I was
Oh my
saying
God.
he's not a ghost,
Okay,
but
we
he's
can
similar.
Can we skip this?
We can skip,
Can you
we can
kids?
skip.
Can you kids take this
We can
after
skip.
school?
Yes.
Yeah,
Wrong
Jake,
scene.
we're gonna meet you at the flagpole, bro.
We shut the flagpole. Cho'Gall,
Misha?
super hyped. Cho'Gall, obviously
Oh,
gonna.
Cho'Gall's so sick, dude.
He's gonna. That picture is so badass too. Like that's seriously probably the most badass image they could have used. Yeah, he's going to be really cool. Zul'jin, not a big surprise. We've actually seen him in videos. If you go back to some of the older Blizzard videos, you can see him in game. Aggro, I actually don't know anything about Aggro. That's cool.
You serious?
Yo,
I don't know anything either.
Oh,
Matt, go. Explain Aggro quickly.
I don't.
I'm just gonna
Do you
say
know- do you know
right
who
now,
Thrall
that
is? Do you know who that
everybody's
person
been
is?
explaining lore, and chat has been just walking all over you nerds. Like you're wrong about like absolutely everything.
I have been
Every-
reading chat specifically, and they have not been like that.
Counter wrecked.
All right, more
I
stuff to
have
do with
been
the flagpole,
focusing.
right? Like,
All right,
Flagpole chat.
flagpole is going to be a busy place later today. We got Artanis. He's the mothership dude. We got Lady Vash. That's awesome.
No, you don't get to call Artanis the mothership dude. Give him a little respect. Holy shit, man. He
He's not
is.
like he did anything else ever. He's just an artist.
oh my god.
Come on, man. The mothership dude. He's Artanis.
It's not like they say
Wow.
for
But doesn't he drive a mothership? Like,
like they never
Wait.
say for Artanis or anything whenever they do.
For Artanis.
anything.
That was
It
a
doesn't
great
happen
identity
at all
there,
ever.
You're just like, how dare you call him the mothership dude? He's Artanis. You didn't explain anything more. You just kept
Executor.
Yeah, but no, you gotta understand. He's Artanis.
saying, but I don't think
Okay.
That's it.
he's Artanis.
Do I need to go more in depth when I say he's Thrall? Like, they're
He's
the.
not Thrall.
Yeah,
They're
but he's
Artanis.
Thrall.
They're spelled
It's
completely
Artanis.
differently. They both have T's, R's, and A's. though.
Okay. Flagpole.
oh,
Tonight.
this flagpole is going to be a busy place. Catch the flagpole after the podcast today. That's our post show now. It's called the flagpole. We got Thrall. We got Manx.
Wait, it's Thrall.
Everyone knows who Thrall is. Everyone
Thrall.
knows who Thrall
He's
is.
that dwarf king, right?
Oh my
Yeah.
god, goodness. Everyone knows he's going to be in the game. That's not like a big surprise. We're not going to go. We're going through.
Manx.
This is supposed to be quick. Scenarios.
Scenarios.
I
Scenarios,
mispronounced
whatever.
it. Cool, obvious, but cool. The Sapper Squad. This
That
is
looks
exciting.
so cool.
This
Yeah.
is exciting. But I'm going to tell you right now, Matt's going to hate them because they're going to be the next Smirky.
What am I
Probably.
doing?
The Sapper Squad is probably going to be a super
Oh.
backdoor
It's
cheesy
just gonna be
specialist.
no. So if it's, I don't know if you played Dota or anything, but if anybody out there hasn't played Dota, there's a character called Techies, and it's like the most troll thing in the world.
Oh, they lay
Uh,
mines or something?
So Techies has pre-ult, they just have like default proximity mines. You walk over the mines, they blow up. It happens. It hurts a lot. Whatever. And then level 10 or level 6 rather, they get their ult, and it's remote detonated mines. So you can just like set up all these invisible mines across the world, and whenever someone walks over, you're like, oh, boop, and then they die. And you're like, oh my, ugh! It's so frustrating. And then, so if that's not like the worst part about them, they can deny themselves at any point. And
Well, there's
in,
no
in
denying
Dota,
it
like
here,
that's
so.
a big thing because you deny the enemy gold. So literally, one of their abilities at level like 1, you can get this, is just called suicide. You just blow yourself up. You do a sizable amount of damage, but you blow yourself up and deny the enemy a kill, and you can ground target it. So say you're at like 100 health and a skill shot's about to hit you. You're just like, yeah, no thanks. Boop, and you just blow up. And it's like, all right, I guess we won't get credit for that kill. All right.
It's not. I don't think that's going to be how they're played. They could be
No, I mean,
kamikaze, but
in Heroes, if someone dies, you get experience regardless of if they die to. I think even jungle creeps, you still get experience. So it's like, if they play that way, then it won't work. But
Even Murky gives experience. Still give experience.
Yeah, it's true.
Turkey gives a very small amount of experience, but it's there.
25% and then 50% for the egg.
See, sir.
we got Lost Vikings. We don't know if they're going to be
Zoya,
individual.
what's that one?
And,
You overmind! You overmind!
I'm freaking out, man. Freaking out.
Dude, I posted it in the Reddit thread, but like, it's gonna replace the core. Like, the Overmind will be the core for the team, and it'll have like an RTS like mechanic where you're like buffing minions or something, or like doing things on the map. Like, that's what it's gonna be, man.
Like playing the game.
Think of how cool that would
Man.
be. Is if you didn't have a fifth hero, you had a core that was the Overmind, and you just did things on the map. Like,
How'd you like my
oh,
move, Stack off?
oh my god.
I
I
Don't
hope
know
he's
about
like
that.
hype as
I
hell,
really
and I hope
hope
it's
that.
really cool, but I still think he's probably just gonna be in an announcer pack.
I bet you bottom dollar it's like some StarCraft 2 map, and you're right, Zoya. But instead of having like the core mechanic right now, the core is just going to be the Overmind, and then like it's going to be
That's
like
Let me dream.
Blitz for forts.
Let me dream.
You know what? They've blown our minds with stuff like Murky and Abathur, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't count him out yet.
You know how
What if he's like this giant? What if he is like the Overmind from StarCraft, but he's got like these little tentacly things, and he just kind of walks around?
he just sort of like slinks around the map? That'd be really fun.
will come there eventually.
Going to
would
the announcer pack
actually be-
thing, it'd be really cool if you could buy like old theme songs, basically from like Brood War or
Yes.
whatever you want, and put that
Ooh.
into the map pack, and just have
Yeah,
that person be the announcer.
Yeah, I mean they talked about that like super briefly a long time ago. I don't know if they're gonna revisit it, but what I just thought of was, and this is pretty much thanks to Jared and Kevin, when custom games, or rather when custom maps come out, if they make these things just to replace the cores, like Ragnaros core versus like Overmind core, it'd be sick to see. Like that would actually be amazing. Like my team has to go take out Ragnaros and your team has to take out the Overmind. Like that, like it doesn't do anything for the game, but it's just so cool for like cosmetic stuff that would be
Yeah,
sick.
and
You could
like,
like change
the
your core, like have a skin for it,
Yeah,
kind of.
like when you're making the map, like if you're the custom map editor and you're creating like Cloud Typers, whatever, or Cloud Kingdom, then you just like one base is like Overmind, the other base is Ragnaros, or like one is like Deathwing or something. Like that would be really cool.
Yeah,
Things
like
that
you
are-
had like
yeah.
one side's like actually fully Warcraft, like the minions or
Yeah, like half and
Wolverines
half.
and stuff, like Starcraft versus a Warcraft map. Like
Very cool.
Yeah, if you had like
Fun zealots.
you had like a command
Zerglings.
center on one side and you had like the Overmind.
Zealots
on
and
the other one, like,
Marines.
that would be sick.
Yeah, dude. Zerglings and Hydralisks, and then like versus that. Be
Yeah,
crazy.
that would be so sick.
what would the Zerg healers be?
Infestors?
Filers, man. Bring back the Filers.
Infestor.
yeah, Queens.
Yeah, but
Queens are so lame.
they would have to be like little baby queens.
But
Yeah.
guys, please. Okay, first off, if it's gonna go for like only ranked teams only, first off, then somebody has to choose one of their packs.
Rank it in here.
And
Yeah,
secondly,
right.
if it's gonna
Hey,
be
we were talking about custom games. Like someone would be able to make that map.
Yeah, we're making like custom game.
Yeah,
maps.
there's gonna be a custom game
when the
pack.
map editor.
But it can't
comes
be. But they can't use that for competitive either. Because
Why?
it's very confusing for spectators to understand what's going on.
If it's done right, it could
Why was
it could be
competitive
done
brought
right.
up at all, though? We were just talking about a random fun
Yeah, we're
map.
just talking about fun. We could talk
Why
about
do you
other-
ruin
That's-
everything?
Okay, I'm sorry.
I want to go
but
back to happy fun
You
places.
know,
Yeah, we were having a good time, Kev. Way to bring us down with like esports and stuff.
I'm
Esports?
sorry.
Esports
I'm thinking about esports. Sorry. I'll start thinking about your casual game again. Sorry.
Thank you.
Chef,
Let's go
you have
back.
to
Thank
invent. You have to invent the Zerg healer.
It's Queen.
it's an infested
Queen.
medic.
And queens are too
Infested
big.
medic.
Infested medic!
medic.
Oh!
Right.
That would be cool, but
Why
it would be
wouldn't
so
it be the
confusing
Queen?
for-
She's got
if it was like a
transfused.
TPC
Because
map,
she's
it
so
would
doesn't make
big and
sense.
dumb. No one likes queens.
Queens fly. Like,
be so big. Why are we even talking about a
Yeah,
hero?
we're
There's no
going back
actual
to
Because
hero.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the minions in the lane. It's like we
Yeah, but
got
there's
we
no
got
healer
like
in the-
roaches, hydras, and then like you got to have the little healer in the pack.
Okay,
There's no
just
healer,
popped
though.
in my
It's a
head.
caster, It's not a
The pack.
healer.
But they're
The
healers in my world.
they need a Zagara skin
You
where
have
when you take
yes.
them, they need,
Go.
they need a Zagara skin where when you take the Mutalisk talent, it makes queens instead of mutas, like Brood War queens,
the old ones? Yeah,
like
those
the
would be
original
cool.
queens. Because
Yeah.
I miss those guys. That was
Only
like a
if I
random
can-
thought.
Only if I can use it to spawn broodlings out of my enemy heroes, and it would just be a one-hit kill, and it doesn't matter what the hell it was, and it just becomes broodlings, and then they just attack things.
And then you give a Terran skin to Zagara, and she spawns science vessels instead.
What?
I'm getting silly now.
We're getting.
I don't
we're
even
getting
know
like
what's going
Yeah.
on anymore.
bad,
I mean,
bad things.
we're at the last leg of the show. I'm just trying to think of Zerg healers because I want there to be healers in the game, in the minions.
There
Infested
are no
medics is
Zerg
good.
healers.
I know, that's good.
The idea of Zerg is they just overwhelm. It doesn't matter if something dies.
I understand. Well,
No, you don't. You're dumb, Jake. Stop being.
so
Understand how the Zerg works.
Final-
The Overmind.
final thing.
But also have field batteries.
True. Yeah.
Moving shit.
All right. So the final
Somebody
discussion. We're going back.
suggested
We're going back
that,
to. Shh,
Wait.
No.
No, this is good.
Gosh.
It kind of ties back in before. So with healing wards and everything in the games, one of the people on Reddit, I wish I could credit them for this comment. they were talking about how everybody gets healing wards and that generic talents are boring, and that they wanted to see, instead of Tassadar getting like a healing ward, that he would get like a portable shield battery that he could put down. And like that was a really neat idea. It sounds like kind of broken, like off the bat, but it would be really interesting to see how that would like work out, and if that was like their solution to kind of removing just blanket generic things. Like Rhaegar has his personal healing ward, even though it's basically the same thing.
The totem.
Yeah, healing totem.
That is cool.
You can reskin Healing Word on Taskar to be a pylon. Easy peasy.
Okay, I don't know what it would do, but
it just would be. It would look so.
it would
cool.
just be a healing ward, just a pylon.
Yeah,
What
it
if
would
they
just be
had
a
one that
pylon.
gave shields, but it's a little pylon and it gave shields instead?
Why would a pylon give shields, Jake?
Yeah.
Did you play StarCraft? You don't
It's
understand anything
it's
about
just
StarCraft.
donating its energy to the ship, and now
You're ruining the lore, Jake.
I don't like
You're
dumb
ruining
races.
the lore. I know this is 3 universes in one game, but you have to keep the lore in line.
Should be a little sentry, and it makes a little guardian shield or something. I don't know. It's better than a pylon that gives shields.
Wow.
That's dumb. That's being dumb.
Okay. We're really gonna have a brawl at this poll tonight.
This poll is gonna be.
It's gonna
gonna
get
be-
serious.
You know
Yeah.
what, guys? You know what hero that they didn't announce yet? I want a sentry hero because I want
No,
just said that.
Go away. Just go away.
Chef has never just like jumped in like that
Come on,
ever.
Chef, you don't like 17 force fields going into your face?
Just
What?
go.
What's the matter with that? That's
Did you
totally
forget
valid.
what race he played in StarCraft 2, guys? Come on.
Let me just
It's a
split your
sensitive
army in half
topic
twice
here.
in half a second. No big deal.
That's a sensitive topic here. He played
Sentries should
Zerg,
also
guys.
shoot out oracles, widow mines, and mothership cores. I'm trying to think of other
That's
things.
okay.
Chef.
That's fine.
Warhound.
You can't play around. They just kill you.
Yeah.
Just die.
And Colossus.
Yeah. Oh,
Guys,
come
we
on.
have a game that Idra actually enjoys right now. Let's just keep it that way, okay? Let's not ruin it with bad heroes.
Okay, so let's talk about BlizzCon. Chef, going into BlizzCon, obviously you guys are gonna be training really hard. We're back in real discussion now. I know it's quite the switch. But you guys are training really hard, and you guys just had your show match with Cloud9. How'd you guys feel about them? Because obviously they're very talented gamers, and we don't know how. Have you spoken with them? Like, I personally don't know how much Heroes they've played.
I play with Zuna lots, and I know
Yeah,
Jinx
Zuna plays a lot.
Yeah, we had Zuna subbing for us in the first COTS one, and like he's really good, plays all the time. Played with him like all day today. Jinte plays a lot. I don't know very much about Bobby Henkill. I think he's in Korea, and
Him and Dream play.
I Dream. Yeah, I haven't played too much with them, but they played really well together as a team.
Yeah, no, they looked good. But what are your expectations for the event? Because we got two other
Just
teams.
saw my face.
So
I want to
gotta
comment on
play.
that. Like, I think Sheth would also admit to this. That game, like, yeah, they played much better than expected, but there were misplays. There were a lot of misplays on both sides.
Yeah, of course.
Just sloppy
Yeah.
on both sides.
Yeah, no, it was. No one's going to deny that.
Well, you
But
said they played amazing. They
I didn't say
better
they
than
played amazing.
Amazing.
They played better than expected.
Yes.
And I was actually very impressed with how they played.
Yeah.
But they're not near the top yet.
No,
Where
Where are you going with this?
We have 3 weeks.
to the flagpole.
Some.
To the flagpole. They were definitely a lot better than people expected. Like, we gave them a lot of crap on the show. Which is, like, to be fair, with the information we had, Zuna was the only player that I had at least seen in scrims. And he's been playing a lot with the top teams for a while. Like, he subs for a lot. We've seen him for a while. But the rest of the team, yeah, sure, we see them on ladder, but we've never seen any real performance out of them. As a team as a whole, it was easy to kind of like, oh yeah, you're not gonna be that great right now. Maybe eventually, because like you said, they're all talented gamers. But
So, what are your expectations for the BlizzCon tournament?
Me?
Yeah,
Again?
yeah.
Oh,
Like,
dude, well,
what?
like, you don't even have to ask me. Like, let's see. The second and third is going to be tough. I think fourth could be Fnatic, unless I see them play a lot more. Like, I haven't seen them in any tournaments. And, well, I think Nani will actually do really well and surprise people. I haven't seen Shushe or Lamia play at all. I know Sase plays a lot, too. And Ace plays a lot, so I'm sure
Yeah,
that'll
Ace
be
is good.
respectable. And then as for second and third, like, I don't really know much about EG, obviously, so they'll probably be somewhere there. And then C9.
Didn't you hear about the... Wait, what was it? The
The return. EG's website.
Return?
To earn.
Yeah,
and
EG's
somebody,
To earn.
Yeah, the return is EG's picking up their old CS:GO team.
with Stefano and like
With Stefano, yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, that's right, bro. It's a crazy thing, man.
Is that confirmed? Is that actually what it is?
No,
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
shut
Okay.
that up.
That's
Completely
like
lying.
that's actually like
a
within the realm.
CS:GO team with Axlav, Strife.
No. I thought I meant the CS:GO team as a whole. I was disregarding
no.
the rest of it.
No.
look.
Yeah, no, it is very likely that yes, they're referring to Idra and rip Kev's webcam. But yes, it's very likely that they are in fact referring to Idra. And I guess the question is, do they just straight pick up Snowflake? Is the question, and we'll see. We'll see soon.
Wouldn't surprise me. I kind of hope they do, because those guys have been grinding away.
They deserve it.
They've been top 3
think-
teams for the
I don't know,
longest time.
man. I saw on that Reddit thread somebody got a picture of one frame. It said it was like Idra, and he's like,
That was
"You're-"
Photoshop.
That was
Yeah.
Photoshop.
Was it Photoshop?
Yes.
Anyway, I mean, like,
It was like Idra Rage. Why would they put that in there? Like,
because I think that's like that's
no,
It was
they're gonna pick
Photoshop.
up Idra.
no.
That was 100% Photoshop.
Yeah, that was funny. That was
It was funny as hell. I cracked up. Yeah.
Kevin actually
It would have been a
linked
great way
me
for EG to pick, like, if they were gonna pick up Snowflake, which, I mean, I can't see them doing much else. But if they were, and they were just like, the Rager's back, guys. We're sorry, we couldn't keep him away.
It's like 90% Snowflake, 10% Vex Gaming.
Oh my gosh. I
Simmer
don't.
down now.
Kev, your webcam's still not working.
I wish that somebody linked the picture of Greg with the quote, like the Lion King thing that we did, like, what was it, like 4 weeks ago?
Oh, if I was on my desktop, I still had it.
Yeah, it was so good. It was like the best picture. I wish like that was just the first response in that thread. It's like sometimes people are dumb, and you just have to correct them. Otherwise, they'll just keep being dumb. It's just like, oh my god, it's amazing.
Well, that's all I've got, guys.
Who's got
Kubi's
really
que- oh.
fun?
Oh,
You just made Hollow very sad by taunting him.
Sorry, Hollow.
Kubi was
I love
supposed
you.
to leave us with Kubi's questions. Kubi will be returning on Saturday, so he will be back for next week's show. Kubi's
can
going
try
to
to
be
make one up.
on full time. No, we're not making up a Kubi's question. We can't tarnish the legacy of
What?
Kubi's question.
He started off of me. He took it from me. It's my
Anyways.
legacy.
It's your legacy.
Do we have Reddit questions?
Hollowness says, "See you, Steve. I hope you die."
wow.
Hollow goes hard.
Oh my goodness, he's so sensitive about Kubi's questions. Yes. Any questions on the Reddit thread, Kev?
That aren't silly or already answered.
Dude, I love the silly ones though.
Okay, Sheth. Some people think TL cheated to get the BlizzCon invite. Thoughts?
Yeah, like this complete underground race car drift strategy, and Jinro actually pulled it out for us in the end.
Nice. I'm glad Jinro's back.
Yeah, dude, he just
he's
deals
an
with all
awesome
the
guy.
underground speeders.
Hey,
Was this in Tokyo? Was Lil Bow Wow your tutor? And was this actually the plot to Fast and Furious 3?
They may
They
have taken
actually
it off
learned
of
on the
us.
fishing dock. Like that's where they did it.
We got royalties for that. Like, how do
Why
you think
little
they
Bow
found
Wow,
this-
Kev?
That was, dude, don't ask me. That was actually the plot.
Little Bow Wow wasn't in Fast and Furious 3.
He was, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't.
Who was it?
Tokyo Drift starred a white guy.
No, Lil Bow Wow was his tutor through the like underground of.
all right, let's not talk about Tokyo Drift.
I don't know. Maybe it's been a long time.
Okay,
I think
so
it was Lil Bow Wow.
Okay.
all right, let's
Flagpole.
move to our shout outs. And actually, before we do shout outs, I actually do have a question that's at least related to esports and not Lil Bow Wow. Is Jinro playing Heroes at all?
No, not
Okay.
as far as I know.
He followed me on Twitter, and I was like, maybe he likes
Look at
Heroes.
me. Oh my god.
No, I thought he might be playing Heroes.
I have a
Why else-
girlfriend. I got Jinro following me on Twitter.
Why else would he follow me? It's a
I think he may
legitimate
have played
question.
actually a couple times. I do take that back.
Okay, I'm just curious as to if he's interested in the game at all, because I was a massive Jinro fanboy back when he was playing in GSL. Like,
He was awesome.
Everyone.
yes. All right, let's do the shout outs. Let's start with you, Chef.
All right. Big thanks to Team Liquid for being in the hero scene now. All of our wonderful sponsors. Razer, Need for Seats. List goes on and on. With let's see. Why can't I remember the rest? HyperX being an awesome one, and then Shiny Things. And I'm sure I'm probably missing something. Twitch Twitch. There we go. Got it.
Got it.
And then, you know, all of you guys for having me on the show. Really appreciate it. And everyone watching, you know, thanks for watching and having a good time with us.
Well, we love having you here, Chef. That's for sure. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Jared,
making that little heart. Why don't you do your plugs?
Yeah, make sure you're. Most of my content comes from the stream. I've been streaming a lot lately, which is why I've been so tired. But I finally just my sleep schedule, so I'll be good now. I'm not going to stream right after the show. I'm probably going to take a nap for like 4 hours and then just destroy my sleep schedule and then stream in the morning again. But follow the stream. I got a lot of content in the works, like besides just King of the Nexus and Town Hall. So I should be announcing a new show this week on Reddit, so keep an eye on that. And IBD Gaming, they're awesome. Follow them. And we're going to be at BlizzCon, so if you're there, come say hi to us. Because, yeah.
Yes, we will all, in fact, be there. All 6 of us, if we include Kubi, will, in fact, be at BlizzCon.
Chef, you're going?
yeah, dude. Just got announced, man.
Nice, bro. I'm so excited to see you.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Actually, last year's BlizzCon, I actually ran into Chef at Denny's. It was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Pancakes were consumed. That was back when I could eat eggs. Good times. But, Kevin, are you still with us?
I'm still here. Shout out to Lil Bow Wow for his performance in Fast and Furious, which I am confirming right now after looking at IMDb that
How long do you continue to call him Little Bow Wow? Eventually, he's gonna have to grow up, you know.
He's already
goes
Bow
by a
Wow.
different. No, he's I think like on IMDb now he's known as Twinkie. I don't
Okay.
know what's going on there,
Shout outs.
but anyway,
That is a
Shout out to
Twinkie.
Twinkie.
Shout out to Twinkie.
and the people who made Fast and Furious 3, that was an amazing movie.
Another point on Kev's end.
But other than that, I don't really have much else to really shout out. Just follow me on Twitter, SCHAMTOO, as well as on YouTube, youtube.com/M2, SCHAMTOO. I just put up a lot of the videos from Kings of the Storm on Saturday. And that's about it.
Cool. All right. Well, Matthew.
Hi. I'm Steve. You can find me on Twitter or on Reddit, our Heroes of the Storm. Let's see. Tomorrow will be the announcement of the next Kings of the Storm weekly. It's going to be a little bit different format, different times. So for people that couldn't make it, or if we had too many teams, check it out. It should accommodate everyone a little bit better. So if you're into competitive heroes, just keep your eyes on that. It'll probably be up around 7 or 8 Eastern for signups that'll open. So that's that. And we are doing Clairvoyance, I think, this week. Jacob, is that happening?
Thursday
that?
we're casting.
Casting and possibly doing
if we don't do Clairvoyance on Thursday, we can do it Friday if you're around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always around, so.
Interviews aren't locked in for that yet. We'll let you guys know who we're interviewing this week.
Oh, his name in the movie was Twinkie.
Stop it! Stop it!
It all makes sense now. Shout out
His
to little
real
Twinkie
name-
Bow Wow.
It's really funny though, because if you look at IMDb, it says Shad Moss. Shad Moss is his real name, and then his character in the movie is Twinkie, but then it says in parentheses as Bow Wow. So he was being Bow Wow
Okay, take it away,
as
Jay.
a different character.
Well, like Matt said, Thursday we are absolutely definitely casting the semi and grand finals between of Champions of New Maelstrom. That is the event that happened over. It was the Asia/North America event put on by Billy, NGA. I don't remember all the sponsors, but it's the biggest prize pool we've had here in the Heroes community thus far. Hopefully they keep doing more. Really cool stuff they did there. But it was a good event. The event has come to a conclusion. We're casting from replays now. One of the semifinals was a walkover. Actually, Team Triple Q, I believe it was, actually said, hey, the latency is too much playing on NA. So we forfeit to Glorious. So Glorious is already in the grand finals, and the other semifinal is between Descent and Symbiote Gaming. So that'll be Thursday. Stay tuned for that. Round 1 and 2 VODs are on my YouTube, so youtube.com/solidjakegg. If you missed the first half of this episode, also on that YouTube channel. Town Hall, we're going to be moving it to my Twitch. It's still going to be here on Twitch, but, you know, we're just going to be making the change over to there. Zoya He's gonna be
Why?
doing a lot.
When did we decide this?
Gosh, don't troll. We just got this. We talked about this today. I'm going to be helping Zoya make graphics and improve all his other shows. We're going to shift Town Hall over to my channel, and so I can consolidate all the shows that I'm streaming out of my channel. So I don't have to I have like 5 Twitch accounts in my XSplit right now, and I just want to clutter that out, get rid of that clutter. So it's just going to be at a new home, but it's still going to be right here. Shout out to Twitch for hooking me up with partnership here. I'm going to be getting partnership in just the next couple days. I've signed the paperwork, and Jared for getting me in contact to make all this happen. It was coming, and it's really exciting to be here doing a lot of stuff on Twitch. And I mean, nothing's going to change. It's still going to be the same host, still going to be the same exact show. Absolutely nothing's going to be different. Just easier for me.
October 21st, 2014, the last good episode of Town Hall.
So guys, yeah, I think that does it for 36. Kubi will be back. Matt, look at this guy. He's linking it in the chat here. It is, in fact, yes, twitch.tv/SolidJakeGG. Give me a follow there if you don't mind. I stream a lot. We do a lot of different shows. Clairvoyance is over there. Town Hall will be there. And, of course, I will be casting as much as possible. I'm starting to reach out to anyone and everyone to try to get money into the Heroes competitive scene, to get more prizing in here. So I've invested, honestly, I just ordered studio lighting. I have all my audio gear now. I ordered studio lights. I'm looking at buying a green screen because I want to make this look like a professional studio, and I want to be able to cast events here. So I just want to keep pushing competitive Heroes forward. And so hopefully we can get some sponsors in, because I know it's early, but better late than never. And there's so many casters, like all of us. Like, I mean, even Sheth. I don't know if you've casted Heroes, but you're. I mean,
Yes,
yeah, oh, exactly. I mean, the foundation is here. We have it ready. Everyone's ready to go. All we need is
Keep banging on the mic, by the way.
a little kick. Oh, they can't hear that. They're on a different mic. The stream here is different mic. So it's not going to be bad for them.
So only we have to suffer.
Only you have to suffer.
Yeah.
The stream here is a different microphone. They hear the headset. So, guys, that does it for 36. Chef.
Wait, Matt, that's one thing.
Shout out to Artanis. Shout out to Thrall. Those are very important.
Yeah.
Because there are Artanis.
And there are
Thrall.
Tannis and Thrall.
Those are important
Not
things.
Thrall. Thrall.
Not Thrall, but Thrall and Artanis. Not Mothership Guy. But shout out to them.
All right, shout out to the Mothership Guy. And shout out to Doomhammerman. And
Doomhammerman.
all right, Matt, it's been great having you these past 2 weeks. Obviously, we'll be doing plenty of other stuff together. Kubi will be sitting back in his throne. Kubi's questions will return. We will have any updates in the coming week as to whether and who our guest is, blah, 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 what's going to be going on with that. But
are we doing a show on the 4th?
Probably not. That's what I was going to say. We are probably not. That is BlizzCon week.
Are you doing one live at BlizzCon?
That's what we want to do. What we're going to do is, the only thing about the live at BlizzCon show is we won't be able to stream it live, because there's no way we're going to have internet available. Unless somebody in Southern California, yeah, and if somebody like near the Anaheim Convention Center can help us out and give us somewhere where we can broadcast on good internet, we'll do a 4-man live show. We'd love to do it. It's like, honestly, like the coolest idea ever. But if not, at the very least, I'm gonna bring my Yeti and a laptop, and I'm gonna record it, and we're gonna sit there in a hotel room and drink beers and do a live show at BlizzCon. So at the very least, that's what it's gonna be. Either way, it's gonna be a very special, very fun show, because we've never all been in the same location at the same time ever. I mean, it's gonna be a good. You guys have never even met Kubi, so yeah. Kubi will be back. Chef, once again, thank you very much for your time here. I know you got a lot. You guys are practicing a lot. You guys are very busy, so we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come join us here. And the hearts are real.
It was worth it.
I can't even do it.
Always like hanging out with you guys.
And Matt, again, thanks very much.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Rip Kevin. And
I'm still here. Kinda.
Hold on, I can fix this. Wait for it. Boom, Kevin's back.
Oh my goodness. Guys, that's it. See you next time. Peace.